I know for sure is that Jake Brown is hotter than probably crab oil in a crawfish boil. Nevertheless, we're live. LSU wins, beating Kent State 10-7. We'll break that game down. We will talk about it in its entirety. We will also talk about the weekend series that was, as we were not live last night, had some Mardi Gras things we had to attend to. Break down the Milwaukee series as well. So we got lots of baseball talk that we need to get into here tonight. Jake Olson is going to be remaining in Baton Rouge. We will get to that as well. LSU coming up with a big week as they take on Nichols tomorrow, and they'll take on a litany of teams this upcoming weekend. We'll get to that and preview that this entire week. So lots that we need to discuss, lots that we need to get into. Glad that you are all in here with us. First midweek or weekday post game. Sure, we'll have a lot of those as the season goes on. But do us a favor, hit the like and share. Share to all those groups if you're on Facebook and to all those social media pages. You're watching us, listening to us on YouTube. Like, subscribe, notification bell, wherever you listen to podcasts. Rate, review, and subscribe. Every AYS Sports show is brought to you by our good friends over at FanDuel. Download the FD Sportsbook app today. Use your mobile device. In doing so, do you think the LSU Tigers are going to win the College World Series again? Place that bet with our good friends over at FanDuel. For any thoughts, questions, concerns, you can go to FanDuel.com/RG for more details. Couple of ways you can get involved in the show. Become a member on the YouTube channel. I would assume that we're going to have some members-only content this upcoming week, probably even as early as Wednesday, some sources are telling me. So become a member on the YouTube channel. Send in Super Chats. Thoughts on the 4-game series for the LSU Tigers. You can let us know there. Or you can just leave us a comment inside the chat as well. All right. Lot that we need to get into. Lots that we need to discuss. All of you are hitting the like and share right now. You're telling all your friends because y'all ain't got work tomorrow. Shit, Blake, I got work tomorrow. Majority of you don't have work tomorrow on Fat Tuesday. At least I don't think that you do. A lot of you probably going back to work on Wednesday. So it's not as if that this is a late night. We'll be here about an hour. So, all right, let's get into it here. Everyone do us a favor and hit the like and share. So LSU versus Kent State. We'll get to Milwaukee series after this. I think I start off tonight with the obvious. I think, look, going 6 straight innings and scoring a run is always going to win baseball games. Getting crooked numbers on the board in multiple innings is going to win you games. You know, you kind of had some sluggish parts in games 1 and games 2 against Milwaukee. So, at least from what some fans maybe brought up. I thought, quite honestly, you were fine. But you come into tonight's game kind of starting where you left off. You stayed hot, so to speak. Multiple home runs by Jake Brown. An Oppo Taco by the freshman and Mason Braun. Zach York getting involved in the home run game, almost having himself a double-digit home run night as well, but he hits one. But I think it's everything that you did along the way. The home runs, yes. But I think just getting runners on, getting runners over, and getting runners in being a big deal here. You know, halfway through the game, you're 6 for 9 with runners in scoring position. You're really tattooing the ball with guys on base, and that's why you get a big number the way that you did tonight. You scored 21 runs yesterday. You scored double-digit runs again today. You scored double-digit runs on opening day. You continue to go through this process of being able to put up big runs. Welcome to college baseball in the preseason. I say preseason, but opening part of the season. I think that part for me is obviously just the eye-opening thing. You know, we'll talk about this in the Milwaukee series as well, but any single time that you come into a series, and if I would have told you, like if I would have told you last Thursday, I would have said, hey, guys, you're going to run rule Milwaukee twice. You're going to put up double-digit runs on Monday versus Kent State. Be like, oh, man, that means Jake Brown and Steven Milam and Derek Curiel and Zach York and some of these guys, whether it's Braun or whether it's Caraway, or Aaron Beatty, really started to get going. Well, they did. I mean, guys, you're absolutely hammering the baseball right now to start the season, and you will only get better. Mason Braun is an example of tonight where first couple of games as a starter, first couple of games as a freshman, a true freshman out of South Bend, Indiana, you look at this situation and go, where's this guy from the offseason? Where's this guy from the offseason? The best team that you've seen all year, clearly it's only been 2 opponents, but that being Kent State, you hit one in the opposite field, you stay on it, and you got a bomb. And that ball is going to travel once the warmer months start getting here. You take one the opposite way. You just continue to stay hot at the plate. Jake Brown might be the hottest hitter in the country right now. The power is certainly there. I saw a post, I think it was, I forget who it was, but the LSU strength coach maybe for baseball, Jake Brown's benching on an incline 105-pound dumbbells. Now, they don't go all the way to a full stretch. That's neither here nor there. Regardless of that, putting in the work and putting in the strength to guys right now, he's got 4 home runs. He had 8 a season ago. You're 4 games into the season, and Jake Brown already has matched half of the total home runs that he had a season ago. What do you expect from Jake Brown right now? Because you can make all of the analogies that you want to. You could say he's hotter than a crack spoon. You could say he's hotter than crab boil and a crawfish bowl. Doesn't really matter what you say or the analogy that you use. Right now, Jake Brown might be the hottest hitter in the entire country. Guys, he's homered 4 times in 2 days. Well, Blake, consider the opponent. Well, I look at all these other teams around the SEC. Majority of them, who did they play? I look at all these other teams in the ACC. Well, who did they play? Like, everybody wants to point to the opponent. It's not like everyone around the country is playing world beaters, and yet Jake Brown right now may just very well be the hottest hitter in the country. But I expect nothing less from the guy that we talked about in the preseason as your leader here. It was Zach York that we were talking about, who went on with Mic'd Up. And Mikey and I, when Mikey came over and collabed with us here at AYS, I'm talking to Matuk, and I'm like, hey, man, I saw this in y'all's episode last night. Like, I saw this on y'all's show last night. Zach York saying, hey, man, I get into Baton Rouge. I know absolutely nobody but Jay Johnson. The contact list in my phone for people that I know at LSU, Jay Johnson. There we go. And within a 30-minute span, Jake Brown is texting Zach York, hey, man, we're going to play pickleball. Come join us. All right, sounds good. I'll see you there. Sounds good, brother. And then you got Jake Brown, per Zach York, like after a game, after a practice, like 15 people are at Jake Brown's house every single night. So doing the things, as we talk about championship DNA, as we talk about the high-level championship DNA, Blake, we're 4 games in. What are you talking about? But guys, taking that leadership role and then taking that leadership role and then applying your talents and your growth and your development onto the field is exactly what we're seeing from Jake Brown. 3rd-year development, yes. Leadership development, yes. What is the one thing that plagued us in 2024, which a team that was on, to what happened in 2025 when we won the whole damn thing? Well, leadership really matters. Being together really matters. Off-field development really matters. Me developing as a hitter and gaining power matters. He's halfway to his total season home run total from a year ago, and you're 4 games in. I mean, this isn't going to happen. I pray to God it does. But he's technically on a pace to hit 56 home runs. He's not going to do that. However, I think it's funny to talk about. If I told you last Thursday as we started off this segment, hey, man, Jake Brown is going to have 4 home runs through 4 games, you'd be like, shit. Early season production definitely matters, and you definitely needed it. So, at the plate, man, you're just a very talented team. A very, very talented team. You're 4 games into the season. You display it again here tonight. Name the person. Is it Zach York that you want to mention? Sounds good to me. Is it Jake Brown that you want to mention? Sounds good to me. Name the person that you want to name them. And guys, you're doing some really good things at the plate. So before we dive into this game and talk about it in its totality, I just think overall, man, you've been fantastic. And I think you've been very good. And you've been very good at the plate. A lot more consistent right now to start the season than you were a year ago. Doesn't mean that you're a better team overall, but definitely you have a little bit more power through the lineup. You know, the last thing I'd say is, like, guys, you're in through 4 games, but your 9-hole hitter tonight, Mason Braun, has serious power and has enough power to hit double-digit home runs as a freshman. Like, he's got that level of power. So Stanfield not in the game with a hand injury tonight. You got Tanner Reeves, who hits a ball off the wall in left field. Where do you find a break? Caraway, who I think, look, man, they've really worked on his swing. He's hitting the ball very, very, very hard. Omar Cerna coming off the bench. He hit a ball yesterday at 118 miles an hour. You didn't hear me wrong. 118 miles an hour off the bat. You're just, the level of depth that you have is at an all-time high, and this is what you expect from a head coach that makes recruiting his life. When you talk about the Sabans of football, this is kind of like you're seeing the fruits of your recruiting labor. Can development continue here? Will be the question. All right, let's roll through the game a little bit. So Jay Newt got the start. First inning, got a 6-4-3 double play after giving up a leadoff walk. Gets a line drive single right back up the middle and strikes out Reese. Looking very clean inning for Jay Newt. Walk, I mean, just couldn't find the zone. I mean, a lot of the inconsistency that we've seen from Newt in the past, not a lot of the same inconsistency that when I saw him pitch twice, I didn't think he had this high level of consistency when I saw him. But walk, you get a 6-4-3 double play that was turned by Milam and Dardar, really effective. And then you get a strikeout looking on Reese, absolutely fantastic. Derek Curiel leads off the game, striking out. That's his 5th of the season. Let's talk about Curiel right quick. I see the social media posts about Curiel, guys. I mean, you're getting me in Jennifer Lopez bikini territory right now. I'm in Jennifer Lopez bikini territory, and what does that mean for all of those who don't know? Like I said with Lane Kiffin at quarterback, like I said with Lane Kiffin offensively, the things I don't worry about. Jennifer Lopez looking fine as hell in a bikini, and secondly, a Lane Kiffin offense. I'm going to throw this around. The 2 things baseball-wise I don't worry about, Jennifer Lopez looking good in a bikini and Derek Curiel not finding it at the plate. I mean, he will find it. I think timing's a little bit off for him. He's going to find it. He is going to find it, and when he does, he's going to be completely fine with it. But he does lead off the game with a strikeout. Stephen Milam flew out to center field. He did that 3 times tonight. Then Jake Brown with an outright bomb to right field. You know, I was sitting there. If you go back and watch Jake Brown's at bat, the first one that he had, they threw 3 fastballs at him. And I'm like, look, man, you got away with the first 2. You better not do it again. Well, they did it again, and he blasted one into oblivion. Jake Brown right now, you know, and we talked about him just a moment ago, every single mistake that teams are giving him, he is destroying them. I think the one in the 3rd at bat, he would want back a little bit, but Jake Brown he is destroying the baseball. And look, you can just tell the new power from him. He's seeing the ball very well. And all of these mistakes, you leave something over the plate, he's going to destroy it. Guys, this is just what 3 years of development looks like. Right? Like this is the fruit of your developmental labor. I mean, and he is the prototypical child of that. The prototypical child of that. And the level of power that he is displaying right now is on an all-time high. All-time high. Literally. I mean, just blasting the baseball. It's beautiful, beautiful to watch. And he's just got such a sweet swing, man. Like, you know when he's got all of it. You know, it's just a pure swing. Not, I wouldn't say Griffey level-esque, but man, when you got that swing from the left side, so pure, man. It's just so pure. What's crazy is the level of power that you have from some of your lefties, Dardar, York, Brown, Milam, Braun. It is masterful to watch. Masterful to watch. If you're in the student section, you better bring a glove with you. That's all that I know. 10 the first, Cade Aaron Beatty would strike out swinging, and you would end the first inning. Newt would come back in the top of the second. He would get a fly out into right field. He would give up a walk, but a really effective inning by Jay Newt is he would get Belcher and Schaller to strike out swinging. Again, 2 really good innings by Newt. I think that's just his role, man. I think that's who he is. He can come and give you 2 very solid innings. It's when Newt starts going through a second time through the lineup where it's just been his history that he's had struggles, not being able to get through that lineup a second time. And it's exactly what happened to him in the first 2 innings. You give up a walk, no problem. 6-4-3 double play. You give up a walk, no problem. I'm going to strike out the next 2 guys, and off we go, and both of them are going to go down swinging. I think that's the role that Jay Newt possesses and has possessed. If you give me him in a 2-inning sample size, you get him through one time through the order, and I think that he does really well there. It's just we've tried to extend him multiple times, and it hasn't worked for him. Now, here's also the truth. This is the first time that we've seen Jaden Newt this season. He's going to get another opportunity to extend this and to extend this longer. Can he break the mold that is of him extending? Because, I mean, guys, I think of some of the performances by him, just the past season alone, him going the first time through the order is where it's been a big strength for him. After that, and guys see him for a second time, it's just where his, the consistent thing is that if there is something that's consistent, that's what we've seen him do. But that can just be your role. That can be something that you do. And there's nothing wrong with that. Give me one time through the lineup and we're going to get you. And there's nothing wrong with it. And if you're grooving, we'll keep you in. We will keep you in. We see him again, I'm sure, in the next 5 days, whatever it is. I'm sure we're going to see Jay Newt again. In seeing him, can he extend past one time through the lineup and start breaking that mold that we've known for him to be? But a really good first and second inning for him. Bottom of the second, Zach York would strike out swinging on 4 pitches. Dardar would walk. He walked 3 times tonight. Caraway would pop out to the catcher. Just really unlucky break for him. Tanner Reeves would get the start in left field, and he'd have a bunt single down the third base line. They played the shift very much tonight. And I thought Jake Brown's second home run, remember he was squaring to bunt, I thought he would actually do it. Tanner Reeves is going to be an interesting case here, what you do with him and how you utilize Tanner Reeves. That I just don't know what you're going to do. Stanfield right now has the hand injury, and I was surprised that they went with Reeves over Harden. With that part being said, do you get a righty-lefty situation with Stanfield? Did they start battling that out there? Feels like that Dardar has completely cemented himself at second base for the time being. And guys, I don't know what you're going to do in the infield. I mean, you can't take Dardar's bat out of the lineup unless you DH him and want to get Simpson in. It just really depends on how you're going to play that. Does Dardar DH? Well, Simpson goes to second when you're facing starting lefty. Those are all just questions that we're going to have to get asked here. But Seth Dardar is not going to be outside the lineup, especially hitting a lefty tonight and getting the line drive into left field. In reference to Tanner Reeves had 2 big hits tonight. And yes, I do mean the bunt. Hey, man, if you're going to back that far off of me, if you're going to shift on me, I'm going to execute this, because down the line, if I keep doing this, guys, what if he does it again? I'm just saying this. What if he goes in versus Indiana or Notre Dame and they shift him like that again and he bunts down the third base line and he's on base and he gets a single based off of it? You're taking the pressure off of you. You know, it's exactly what Jake Brown did a season ago on multiple occasions. And teams weren't as drastic at third base because, look, man, we can't give this guy, we just can't give up a base runner. We're not going to do that. So it will be interesting to see, very interesting to see what happens with Tanner Reeves and Stanfield. Now, I don't think Stanfield's lost anything, and Jay loves him to death, and he's going to continue to play. Question is if Tanner Reeves continues to hit, what do you do with Stanfield, who has continued to hit? Those are questions that we got to figure out here. But one thing is for sure, the decision, the discussion that you and I just had, boy, it's a great discussion to have. You know, we talk about those in like negative lights, right? Like we talk about those decisions like, hey, man, well, what are you doing left? Guys, there's nothing to be mad about. There's nothing to really argue about. Like, to me, that's a really good, quote unquote, let's not use the word problem. That's a really good situation to have. Tanner Reeves, we saw last season, whether it's coming in for Brazzi at third base, regardless of when Tanner Reeves came in, he's got power. He can swing the stick. He definitely can swing the stick. So what do you do with Reeves? What do you do with Stanfield? How do you utilize this? Does Braun continue in the lineup? Do you move Dardar to that DH role and let Reeves hit? But with Mason Braun hitting a bomb tonight, those are really good, again, problems. We're going to call them situations. How's that situation going to play out? I thought the third base bunt down the third base line, it just takes pressure off of Tanner Reeves. And then maturing as a hitter, developing as a hitter, he gets a double down the left field line, and it's off the wall. So you can shift me all you want to. You can shift and think I'm going to pull everything. Sounds good to me. Well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to bunt the ball safely down the third base line, and I'm going to get a single. Then my second at bat, I'm going to wait, let the ball get deep, throw my hands at it, and we're going to drive that ball into the opposite field. Fantastic work, man. Fantastic work. And we just talked about a bunt here in the third inning from Tanner Reeves, or second inning, whatever it was. So a bunt single down the third base line. Mason Braun, after a walk to Dardar and a bunt single by Tanner Reeves, you have a 3-run home run, an Oppo Taco by Mason Braun. I mean, this is just what we've seen, man. You know, in the preseason, we talked a lot about Mason Braun on this show. It's just because he's continued to do it. We talked about him a lot with John Eads from WAFB, who came on. It's like, yeah, Blake, I mean, he's going to DH. DH'd, true freshman, day one opening day. Do you really think that Jay Johnson just threw the kid out there just cuz? No. It's because he's been tattooing the baseball. Now, I don't know if right now we're going to see him in the field of play. I highly doubt we see him in the field of play right now because there's so many other options that you could go to. Like, if you really wanted Mason Braun to play in left field, I don't know how many reps Tanner Reeves has in left field. I mean, but Braun would probably have a little bit more because Reeves has been battling out at second. Sounds fantastic. Well, we're going to put Reeves in left. So defensively, I don't think that you see him hardly, if at ever. But now you have a true freshman who destroyed the baseball in the offseason, you know, true freshman weekend series, because of course. And then tonight he kind of gets his bearings up under him. Really good swing on an outside off-speed pitch. And we're going to drive the ball the opposite way. And my goodness, the Weaver, the 3-run shot, puts the Tigers up 4-1. Just insane power for early in the season like that. Very insane. Like, think about what you're doing right now. Guys, you did not do this last season. To open a season? Bullshit. No, you didn't. No, you did not. Driving the ball the way that you did on the opposite field. Zach York tattooing baseballs. Jake Brown hitting 4 home runs in 4 days. No, sir. It hasn't happened. Then when does Curiel get moving? When does Milam get moving? When does Caraway get moving? When is Reeves kind of, if he going to be in love, when does he get moved? What happens with Stanny? Whew. Ridiculous. So 3-run home run by Mason Braun. Kid's going to stay in the lineup, man. He's going to stay in the lineup, and he's going to be a big factor. I was talking to somebody tonight. He kind of reminds me of Andrew Benintendi. If you remember from Arkansas, same level of swing. Same kind of level of swing. I think Benintendi could run a little bit better than him, but reminds me a lot of Andrew Benintendi. Shout out to the Razorbucks. Woo, Pig, Dookie. Curio would hit a line drive to the warning track into left field. That's when I felt like Curio was coming back. So let's talk about that. We're going to talk about an out for a minute. Curio pissed all over that baseball, man. He gets a little bit more backspin on the shot that he had to left field. Gets a little bit more carry. That shit about me gone. I'm not worried about Derek Curio. Again, Jennifer Lopez can be in a thong bikini, shaking that ass. Baby, let me see what you got. I don't care. I ain't worried about Derek Curio. Jennifer Lopez being fine in a thong bikini, Derek Curio to play. I don't care. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me about Derek Curio. Don't do it. That one to left field kind of felt to me the way that he was on it. Okay, kind of had some early bump in the weekend. Fine. He's on it. We're back. We're back. It's going to start landing for Derek. I can feel it. You know, it's funny. I bring that up. I just thought about this. Saturday, I had a lot of pushback from some of you sons of bitches. Hey, some of y'all was in the comments because I came out here. Me and my wife were going to Mardi Gras. I mean, not Mardi Gras. We're going out for Valentine's Day. And I ended the post game early. I had some stuff I had to do. We had to go. I'm going to go take my wife out to eat, man. It's Valentine's Day. I got to stay married. Anyway, I was like, hey, man, this team's going to explode on Sunday. Put it all in the video. Oh, Blake don't know what he's talking about. He's being a homer. Then they scored 21 runs. I'm telling you the same thing about Derek Curiel. The hit to left, he's out of it because he got a walk and then a base hit right after that. He's back. That's a fact, Jack. All right, but really good hit by Derek Curiel at the warning track there, right there. He's back on it. So third inning for Jay Newt, line drive single into center field. He got a walk, and then Salantria hit a 3-run home run off the scoreboard. This kid, Salantria, let me just say this. For all of you in the who love the baseball portal, this name is going to be one that you need to remember. You know, it was funny. This came a little bit later in the season. Remember when, which we haven't seen him pitch yet, which is ironic. Remember when last year when LSU played North Dakota State, and I said, this Latchemeyer kid, you know, there's some thought that he going to go in that portal and he might command some SEC attention. Well, Latchemeyer's with you now. Cilantro is not that small, but I'm just saying of opponents that you faced. Remember tonight, for all of you that are here, to all 917 of you, remember tonight. Remember this kid from Kent State, and when the right fielder, left fielder, whatever one you want to put him in, goes into the portal, remember this. He's on the Golden Spikes watch list. He was their league as a freshman, was their league's MVP. They're legitimately, he was their best player in his conference as a true freshman. Guys, he also has 4 home runs in 4 days. Now, Southeastern, which I watched a lot of Southeastern this weekend, trying to get an idea of what Kent State did. He killed the ball. We watch a lot of Southeastern around here because my in-laws have season tickets right behind home plate, and my kids love seeing their GG and their pawpaw. They killed Southeastern. They destroyed him. And I think Southeastern is going to be a decent to damn good baseball team, mid-major. And Kent State is a good, really good baseball team. Really freaking good baseball team. Remember this Salantria kid. Now, on the home run, again, second time he saw Newt, and it's just the same story repeating itself. This is one of the better hitters in the country. This kid's probably going to go in the portal. If you're in the baseball circle, right, Remember this name because, I'm hearing from people that a lot of SEC teams, he has another season like he did. This kid will go in the portal. So, again, it is, y'all ain't going to remember this. Shit, I ain't going to remember it. February the 16th. Remember the day. This kid Salantrier from Kent State's going to go in the portal. Well, let me not say it like that. Let me back up. A lot of people believe that he has the chance to go in the portal, and a lot of SEC teams will be after him, and I guarantee you will be included in that. Remember, that's all I'm saying. But he did hit a 3-run home run. It's just a typical Newt thing, man. Second time through the lineup. It is uncanny. It is uncanny. And I don't think the dude's stuff's getting worse after a time through the lineup. I think he's in his head too much. He will get another opportunity at this. 10 the third, you got a strikeout, a flyout, or back-to-back flyouts into left and to right. Newt gets out of it, though. You're up 4-3. He gets out of it. Good for him. I like when guys struggle and then come back and really deal here, and he did. Good for him. Bottom of the third, Stephen Milam, would fly out to center field. Jake Brown with his second home run off tonight off of the batter's eye in dead center field. Fantastic, man. He's going to hit 15 home runs minimum. Some of the other guys around him, I think their power's coming too. York's been the one that's been there. Aaron Beatty, I think Cerna and Braun will get involved in that. And Jake Brown leading the way, man. Beautiful swing, beautiful stuff. Jake Brown's completely worked himself into a first-round pick. Completely on fire. Aaron Beatty flew out into right field. York hit a ground ball single right back up the middle. Dardar would walk. Caraway would hit an RBI ground ball single right back up the middle. He's been on them. Man, let's talk about Trent Caraway really quick. Trent Caraway's been on one, man. 5 RBIs yesterday. Another one again tonight. The double play that was made on him where they caught it in the air and Dardar got hosed at first. He is scorching the baseball. The goal is take it right back where they came from. That dude is tattooing the baseball right back up the middle. He is on them. Here's my thought about Trent Caraway. At some point, he's going to start getting elevation on some of these, and those balls are going to start going over the fence. He is a really good hitter. I do wonder if teams start playing him more head up, right up the middle. Take the ball the other way, man. Start pulling some stuff. They fixed a lot of things with Trent Caraway, and it worked. He is tattooing the baseball. This was the first. I went back and looked at this. 108 off the bat. Jesus. 6 RBIs in 2 games. I don't give a shit who you're playing. That's really good. Trent Caraway coming on. Tanner Reeves with an RBI double off of the left field wall. We talked about Reeves. Just a really good night, man. Again, you're too talented, man. You're too deep not to have battles. You're too deep not to have battles. I don't know who it's going to be, but you keep hitting, and guys, you're going to play for Jay. That's just how this works here. So Tanner Reeves gets an RBI as well. They respond, you come right back and respond. That's what championship level teams do. Mason Braun would walk, and Derek Curiel would hit a ground ball back to the pitcher, and you'd have a 1-3 put out to end the third. Ethan Plog came in and got 2 strikeouts on Klotz and Schaller. 1 and 2. Hashtag plugged up. Not clogged up, plugged up. Then Matthews would hit a ball to Seth Dardar, and you outside of the hit by pitch, you would have a pretty flawless inning by Ethan Plog. Let's continue to monitor the really talented left-handed pitcher. Bottom of the fourth, Milam would get hit by a pitch. Brown would ground out to the first baseman. Aaron Beatty with an RBI single into the 6th hole. So Milam advanced a couple of bases. He advanced to second on a wild pitch. And then the ground ball by Jake Brown advanced him to third. And then Aaron Beatty right back at the 6th hole gets an RBI ground ball single, and you would play a run there. Fielder's choice on York. It was the one where they thought that they caught it and they threw it to second and it was an error. Let's stop right there. So the line drive by York to second base, I don't know if the ball was caught or not, but the umpires ruled that the line drive was not caught. So then when they said it was safe, he tries to throw the ball to second. Y'all remember the play. And it's a really bad throw and runners advance. The Kent State head coach came out to challenge the ruling on the line drive by York if it was caught. And apparently you can't review catches, I guess, or catch pop-ups, line drives, whatever. They gave the explanation. That's just dog shit. Balls in the air that are caught or dropped, apparently you can't review it if it's in the infield. So what if we have a situation where a guy dives and maybe traps the ball in the infield on a bunt or whatever it may be? Like, what are we doing? That is a dumb rule. I don't know if he caught it or if he didn't. I have no clue. But that has no bearing on me. Can you why can't you challenge that? Who can – hey, we're going to make everything in baseball reviewable besides if someone catches something in the air on the infield? Like – who came up with that? Whose bright idea was that? Who in the NCAA, where they were sitting around a room and like, it'd be funny if we didn't make reviewable, if a ball's hit in the air or a line drive is not reviewable if it's a catch or if they did or did not catch the ball. How dumb is that? That's got to be one of the dumbest rules I've ever seen. Now, I know Ben talked about the infield fly rule, but that has, to me, what bearing does that have on that? What if you have a pop-up that gets trapped and you can't tell if he caught it or not? What if the ball dropped? A line drive situation, it's a dumb rule. It is a dumb rule. Like, we're in 2026. At what point do we move on from that? It's as dumb. I see Dirty Troy in the chat. He's right. He says it's not as dumb as it sounds. I get it, but it is, though. Like, those situations are going to exist. That has to be a reviewable play. Because what if it happens to us? You get what I'm saying? Like, what if that happens to us? I don't know. Like, I always think of those situations. Okay, I'm glad it went for LSU and went LSU's way. Like, I'm going to need a further explanation on that. But I always think of those things. What if that happened to you? If my favorite team had that same ruling on them, would I like it? It just makes zero sense to me. All right, let's move on. We didn't even spend that much time on that. But York's fielder's choice, Dardar would walk, Caraway would strike out, and Reeves would fly out into left field. So you had a chance to open that one up. You were unable to. Plog walks the batter, but Sheeran comes in and gets a K or 2 Ks, but you had runner or batter's interference that would make you go 1, 2, 3 in the 5th inning. So no harm, no foul. Devin Sheeran, again, looks very, very good at the things that he's doing. Bottom of the 5th, Braun would ground out to the second baseman. Curiel would walk. Milam would fly out to the center fielder again because that's just what he does. Jake Brown on a ground ball single right back up the middle, and he would advance on the big overthrow to third base. Really good base running by Jake Brown. Katie Arambidi would fly out to right field, but not before Derek Curiel on a wild pitch would come home to score. Top of the 6th, Maverick Rizzi is in for Devin Sheeran. He would walk Reese, but he would K a batter right after that, and Klotz would fly out to Milam, and you would get a ground ball to Stephen Milam on a really good slow roller to Stephen Milam. He would make a good throw, but a really good pick by Zach York at first. So let's stop right there for just a quick moment. Zach York defensively, I'm glad we finally got to see it on display. This kid's look, I joked on Twitter. I said that Zach York was a top 5 athlete in college athletics. I know what I'm doing. Okay, number one, I know what I'm doing. Secondly, he's not top 5. He's not top 5. He's top 3. And he's not, and in my humble opinion, he's not 2 or 3. My man read a ball in the dirt tonight and they're not going to technically give him a stolen base, I don't think, because he wasn't running, moving on the pitch. You just read it in the dirt. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know. But York, oh, God, I love it. He is my favorite. He is easily my favorite player. I just think it's like it's a kid's game, but a big guy, you don't see big guys like that. You know, starting nose tackles don't play first base all the time. I freaking love it. And he can really swing it. But defensively, you know, a lot of us talked about during the offseason, like his plays defensively at first at that Southeastern series or Southeastern games. Guys, he can really pick it. This is not a shot at Bear Jones. Like where Bear has more power, York 1,000% beats Bear Jones with his glove. By far. By far. Really good to be on display there. York would home run into right field, speaking of the big fella, so he gets a pick out of the dirt. Then he hits a home run into right field. He had 13 last year at Grand Canyon. And, you know, it's funny. Ben was talking about Caraway with this. I don't know if he doesn't get to 15 to 17. There are some things that I think for him, you know, like when he starts seeing it a little bit better, I think Zach York is going to destroy the baseball. Legitimately. God, he's got a violent swing. The thing with Zach York for me is he's a big guy, but just how freaking explosive he is. God bless it. That home run into right field, it is Ben McDonald's right. It is violence. Like it is pure violence. The level of explosiveness, I don't care what anybody tells me. Look, man, here's the biggest truth. We talk about explosiveness a lot in football. Wide receivers, running backs, etc., and they got it. When you have a dude that's 275, 280 pounds, which is what people say he is, and you got that level of explosiveness, Jesus. I mean, the strength that he has in his lower half is insane. It's insane. So Zach York gets a big pick, and then it's a big bomb. Dardar hits a line drive into left field. Really good at bat from Dardar. He was down 0-2. Then they thought he got hit by a pitch, worked it to a full count, took the ball the other way, and got a line drive into left field. Caraway line drive to the second baseman, and it got doubled up. Baseball, man. I mean, could Dardar have read it a little bit better? Maybe. But, I mean, it's a hot line drive at 100-plus miles an hour off the bat. And gets doubled up. That is just baseball. But I'm telling you, man, Caraway looks really good to me. Taking it right back where they are. I mean, you are squaring the one that he hit, the 3 RBI triple he had yesterday. That thing knuckled. Like he hit it so square on, that son of a gun knuckled. Caraway's doing a really good job, man. Hit the ball hard, man. Sometimes bloops will get in. But if you keep hitting the ball hard, I'm going to be right there with you. Reeves would walk and Cerner would fly out to the second baseman. This is where things got tight. So you'll look at the score tonight and you'll say, man, LSU better get it together. Box score watchers will tell you this. Again, whether it be the 4th inning of game 1, opening day, or tonight's 7th inning, you're just having bad innings. Bad pitching innings. Primo came in, got a K, but walked Matthews and then hit me. You bring in Fontenot with runners on. Runners did advance. Before the hit, runners did advance on this as well. But Fontenot would come in and give up a line drive single into the 4 hole. Dardar dove tipped it off his glove, and everybody is safe. I still think Grant Fontenot is going to be fine. You face what might be the number, and I mean this, you face tonight a guy that might be the number one guy in the portal, top 5 guy in the portal, if and when he enters, in Salantria, the big right fielder. This kid can flat out hit. He can flat out hit. Problem is with Fontenot is that he gave up a 3 RBI double in the left field. You gave up back-to-back hits. It's not a great situation to be in. I think Fontenot will be fine. I do. That's the worst outing that I've seen him have. I think he's going to be fine. He's done a lot better against your own lineup. That's got a lot of power in it. We'll see him again. I think he'll be fine again. But, I mean, the guys on base aren't on him. So, you know, when you talk about guys that are coming in mid-inning, I mean, 2 of those runs were not earned by him. 2 of those runs are owned by Primo. But you got to come in and close the door. You do. He gets some help. He gets a ground ball to second base, then a ground ball single right back up the middle and an RBI. So you gave up 3 hits. Not good. Not good. But we'll see Fontenot again. I think he'll be fine. Gavin Guidry comes in and gets a ground ball to Steven Milam, and Gavin Guidry was absolutely electric tonight. We'll get to him in just a minute. Bottom of the 7th, you got nothing going. The only inning that you didn't score there for 6 straight innings, you go Curiel ground ball down the left field line, you get a double. Milam would fly out to the catcher. Brown would ground ball to the second base, with a ground ball to the second baseman, and Aaron Beatty would fly out to the second baseman. Guidry would come back in the top of the 8th, and he'd strike out the side. 1, 2, 3. Fletcher, Thompson, and Matthews would go down in order via the K. Gavin Guidry, man, my God. These people have families. And you were taking these dudes to the woodshed. Good Lord. I mean, Gavin Guidry. Look, I talked about when we saw Gavin on opening day that I just don't think there's anybody for LSU that you could be prouder of and happier for than Gavin Guidry. Going through the injury he went through last night. As a freshman, you can't get any bigger of a moment and any bigger of a high as a true freshman coming off of a state championship at Barb, going into your freshman year and closing out Game 3 of a College World Series. Nobody could have a better ending to a freshman year. No one. It does not exist. Sophomore season, kind of some ups and downs. Junior year, you get hurt. You're the team captain and you get hurt. And you win, and your team wins a national title. So as high as you were on one of them, you're injured for the second one. And we've seen Gavin Guidry twice. And I think that this is what I'm seeing from Gavin Guidry right now. So you have two outings by Gavin. The thing that I'm seeing from Gavin Guidry right now is I'm seeing a guy with immense amount of purpose. I'm seeing a guy right now that coming off of an injury understands, number one, who he is and being a 4th-year guy, understanding his role. But I think the biggest thing that I'm seeing is a guy that took the offseason and took the season that would have been last year, and baseball getting taken away from him for a year, he's taking nothing for granted. Now, the attitude and the moxie and the cool and the intensity that he shows in every appearance that he has, those things are still there. But for me, in both outings, everything that comes off, the aura that comes off that I'm seeing from Gavin Guidry right now is, hey, man, the game that you love, the game that you have played since you were knee-high to a grasshopper to now winning 2 national championships at LSU. One of them, it's like, man, I want to be a part of this. I'm seeing a high level of purpose to not only want to come back for himself, but the leadership of what that number 8 stands for. And the purpose is there because he understands what this place is. Leading by example and leading because the purpose of it being taken away from you last year, now you're coming into your senior year and saying, hey, man, everything's on the line. Every single pitch, every single every single time I'm on the mound, you're going to get 100% of me, because last year I didn't know how this thing was going to go. Now you're going to get every single ounce out of me to make sure, man, I'm always going to give you 100%. Purpose and drive will always supersede talent. You can have the most talented salesperson, but the guy that's constantly outworking him and has purpose will beat him 9 times out of 10, if not 10 times out of 10. You coming into the 8th inning, you got a ground ball and then 3 straight Ks. You made them dudes look silly. That's what Gavin Guidry does. Bottom of the 8th, you got nothing. Zach York hit a line drive off the wall in right field. I thought he got a second one. He's going to have a multi-home run game. I can feel it. Dardar field destroys Caraway, struck out looking. Reeves grounded out to the shortstop, but it was right back up the middle. They just had him shift on for him. Guidry got a fly out and back-to-back strikeouts to end the 9th, and Tigers would get their 4th win, and a very convincing one against a really, really good mid-major program. Tonight, as we wrap this up, I would just say a couple of things here. Number one, I feel like I'm getting exactly what I expected. Are there some lulls and ups and downs? Sure. Are there things that, oh, man, we got to figure this out, we got to figure that out? Typical. Welcome to college baseball in the beginning part of the season. You have a very talented baseball team, an experienced baseball team, a powerful baseball team, and a team that has purpose and leadership. Not trying to say that, keep going. Too early in the season. Keep going. Continue to build that confidence. Tonight, just overall, you take away a bad inning. You have the ability to run rule a really good mid-major program. Really, really talented team. So it is what it is. Before we get to Jake Olson and some super chats, here's what I'd say. Let's recap this past weekend series. Guys, there's not a lot for me when I recap Milwaukee. You just flat out dominated. Are there areas that clearly you have to grow to be an Omaha 8 team? Without a doubt. Does Schmidt need to get the ball down? Does Casey Evans need to find more of a rhythm and get the ball down? There are things in the starting rotation, yes, we have to discuss. There are things out of the bullpen, for sure, we have to discuss. There are things at the plate that we have to discuss. Guys, you're 4 games into this. Ethan Fry was not an everyday starter for you 4 games into the season. You were still trying to figure out what, if any, role Josh Pearson would play. You were trying to figure out what in the Sam hell you were doing at third. Oh, and by the way, you had a true freshman left fielder and a first-time starter really in Jake Brown, an everyday guy in right, and you were a young team. Now you're trying to figure all the pieces out again. I have no worry at your rotation. I see people trying to worry about William Schmidt. You shouldn't. People worrying about Casey Evans. You shouldn't. If I would have told you last Thursday, and I would have told you this is what the opening weekend would look like, you would break a record and get 49 strikeouts. That would break an LSU record in a weekend 3-game series. You would say, okay, well, this team might be headed to Omaha. If I told you that in one of your games you would score 20 runs and you would run rule Milwaukee, you'd be like, oh, shit, these boys came out firing on all cylinders. What changes now? Nothing changes. Nothing changes. Are there clearly things you got to clean up? Casey Evans' 4th inning, the home run given up by William Schmidt. Yeah, I'm also old. Let me rephrase this because some of you get mad when I make the joke of I'm old enough to remember last year Anthony Ianson had a 7 ERA in the non-conference. But I am. Welcome to college baseball. I have no worries. You will figure out this weekend some worries you should have. Watched a lot of Indiana, North Carolina this weekend. Indiana's not a bad team at all. They're not a bad team at all. They are some yips away from beating North Carolina Saturday night. They are a butthole so tight couldn't fit a grease BB in it. They were tight in that ninth inning to take down number 11 North Carolina. Not a bad team. I have seen nothing of Notre Dame. Not a damn thing. So we'll see how this weekend plays out. You got Nichols this weekend. Nichols got destroyed in opening weekend. Destroyed. They're not good at all. God, they're not good at all. But it's the midweek, and it's baseball, and any damn thing can happen. In reference to Wednesday, I really wonder what's going to happen with Cooper Williams. I really wonder what's going to happen with Cooper Williams. Do you save him for the weekend? Do you let him go 2 or 3 innings? How do you start off Wednesday will be a big key here, and we'll be here to talk about it for sure. All right. Before we get to Super Chats and get out of here. So it was reported tonight, and something that's been working over the last 48 hours. Look, I think Jake Olson, this whole thing with Jake Olson changed very quickly. I think that here's how I talk about the Jake Olson thing. There was a lot of people who thought that Blake would just move to safety, being blunt. It's not how Lane works. Lane likes having his coordinators not be the quote-unquote quarterback coach. Now, I'm sure Blake will be in a lot of meetings, position-wise, and doing a lot of different things. With that being said, Blake Baker is really tight with Jake Olson. And how do I want to say this? Something that isn't going to really be discussed because to some extent it can't be, but I'll share it with you here. I love the fact that your coaching staff for football can go to their head coach and say, hey, man, I really want Jake Olson on the staff. Can we figure out a way? What can we do here? All right, sounds good. Let's figure it out. You want him. You got him. He's your guy. Let's go get it. Let's go get it. Do I think that was completely communicated to the fullest extent? Maybe before this move happened with the Washington Commanders and Jake Olson? Maybe not really. But Lane will listen and will do what he believes is in the best interest, given off of, look, man, I might be the head coach. I might run this ship. I might do all of these different things because he gave Pete Golan everything he needed. Everything that he needed. You need us to do this? Sounds good. You need me to go get this analyst? Sounds good. That is your side of the football. Let's go and do this together. And I think that this whole Jake Olson thing and the connectivity with Blake Baker is a big deal. Jake had a really good season. He had a very, very good season. He had a very good season in the sense of that. Uh-oh. All right. He had a really good season in the sense of that A.J. Halsey, TaMarcus Cooley, and Deshaun Spears had really good seasons. You got some safeties now that I think that can expand on that. Fahim Delane, I think Fahim Delane's going to push TaMarcus Cooley. I think he 100% will push TaMarcus. I think he 1,000% also will push Deshaun Spears. Ty Benefield coming in, does he play that star role? I don't know. I do not know. I don't know completely what their decision will be on that part. What I do know is I thought Jake post Sage Ryan and post Major Burns, when you got actual LSU caliber players, look how good they played. So Lane saying, yeah, man, you want this? Let's go get it. Do I think the communication could have maybe been better in the beginning part of it? You have a new staff, man. Somehow I cut myself. And I'm bleeding. Damn. I don't really have anything. So I like that Jake's staying. I really do. Do I think that there was a big discussion about Blake moving to safety? Yes. And that part I'm not really guessing on. All right. Let's see. Let's get some super chats before we get out of here. Stephen Young says Gavin Guidry is a dog. He's elite. And we might be going to Omaha. Well, we're 4 games in. With that part being said, elite is what I think about Skeens, but he's been elite through two games. Yes, I agree. He's been very elite. He's looking very good. The outcomes have been very elite for sure. CJ with a $2 super chat says post games in Nebraska. We are set up to do it if we need to for a final. Goodness gracious. All right. We're going to need to wrap this up. Jeez. All right. Will Moore with a $2 super chat says, in the words of my kids, let JB7 cook. No doubt. I mean, man, it is otherworldly right now. It is otherworldly right now. He's on a heater. Arguably the best, one of the hottest hitters in the country. I mean, no denying it whatsoever. All right. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll start looking into the weekend, continue some more baseball talking. Well, football, because Lane's had some things going on, and we'll mention that too. All right. See you tomorrow. Peace.